Hello, everyone. Phoenix Tremayne here, and I'm going live. It was a last minute decision, so I let everybody know at the last minute. But I was going to wait until tomorrow to do the live. But since the soaps didn't come on today, I was like, what am I waiting for? Some news came out. I'm sure a lot of people want to hear about it. A lot of people want to talk about it. So we'll be discussing some things that are going to be happening on the soaps. Big news for Bold and the Beautiful, as well as Days of Our Lives, and getting a fan reaction to the big news is gonna be cool. Hey Joshua, Sandy, Apple Chick, Win Marie, thank you guys for coming on. Um, yeah, thank you very much. Uh, I have not watched All Rise this season. I watched All Rise last season. I said I would start watching All Rise again, but I have so many so much stuff I'm watching. It kind of fell behind. I haven't even seen Equalizer yet. I have CBS All Access, so I know it's on there. Hey Sam and Martha and Jacarius and Timothy and Penny. Um, Hi everybody. Thank you for coming on. We're gonna be on till 8 o'clock today. Um, hey Honey Smile 320. Thank you guys for showing up. Um, can we start? Hey Patricia. I'm doing good. Can we start talking about Gwen killing Laura? I did not see that coming. They said a tragedy was going to happen, and Gwen went and killed Laura Horton on Days of Our Lives. I'm like, good gravy. What's going on? I said so many soap fans are going to be upset when when they find out that Gwen killed Laura. They already didn't like Gwen. This ain't going to help. This isn't going to help it at all. So I'm guessing Gwen's days might be numbered on the show because killing Laura is one of those things that you kind of hard to back out of that corner, like Ava killing Morgan on General Hospital. People don't be forgetting that stuff. Uh, yeah, Laura. They didn't show Laura getting killed. They just showed her on the floor. But I released for the members the video. I mean the pictures of Laura bleeding out. Jack is going to be there. Rafe is going to be there. I guess the paramedics going to say they couldn't save her. Um, Gwen is looking like she's in shock. Uh, so so yeah, Laura Horton is gone, dead. So, but I think they'll actually say what happened on tomorrow's episode. Thank you, Rosemary. I appreciate you all coming in, listening to me talk about the soaps. They said that Gabby and Abigail are going to team up against Laura, and I was like, no, Gabby and Abigail should never team up for any reason. There's so much bad blood between the two of them, and Gabby didn't really know Laura like that, so I don't understand. Um, well, Kate might be the only one doing the happy dance that Laura's dead. Um, I don't think that Gwen strangled her. She probably pushed her or something, and Laura hit her head on a table or something to that effect. But I don't think that. I mean, Ron's already rocking the boat a little bit with some of the fans upset about certain things that he has no control over, like Hope not coming back to the show and Sierra not fully back. And the whole storyline with um, Stefan and Abigail and whether or not it was consent or not. Some people are still hung up on that. But yeah, maybe Laura wanted to retire and go out in a big splash. I'm probably being a minority with this, but did y'all see that episode with Laura, Jennifer, and Abigail um, were all in the past. Like Gwen was Gwen's mother, Jennifer was Laura, and Abigail was Jennifer. And I thought that was some of the worst acting I've seen in a long time. Katie McLean did have some of them Laura mannerisms down, but it was cringingly humorous. I don't think it was meant to be humorous the way it was, you know. Well, you may control Laura's death, but at the same time, I mean, they weren't using her anyway. I don't know if Gwen is pregnant, but this whole killing Laura thing is gonna really paint that character into a corner with fans. Ava is responsible for Morgan's death. As much as I love the character of Cyril, uh, if he was not in his right mind because of Ava's manipulations, and so Ava may not have put the bomb in the car, but she did set the domino effect of him eventually dying. And I think that because there's no body, and now there's been some hinting, I really want to know who this person is. We're talking about General Hospital now. Now I want to know who that hand is. Now I haven't seen anything official, but people are talking about Nathan's coming back. That's going to be the surprise guest at the wedding. And I was like, they got to pay actors anytime they show that picture. So are we going to get one of them stories where, the WSB fake Nathan's death or something? That would be cool because I haven't really seen the actor in anything other than maybe a Hallmark movie or two. He probably went that paycheck. But I'm actually now very curious of who the surprise guest is going to be. I just assumed it was going to be Obrecht or Franco as Drew, but could it possibly be Nathan as the surprise guest at the double wedding? Or could it even be Drew Kane returning for the wedding? So let, let me know what you guys think about that, of who the surprise guest is. So far, we've only seen his hands, and it looks like a man hand. So I'm taking Obrecht out of the equation. So now I'm looking at Nathan, Drew, and Franco. Um, so any thoughts on that? I think I was sad to see Nathan go, Sandy, but I do understand that he quit. He wasn't fired. So it was his choice to leave because he wanted to go do movies and stuff. And I can understand that actors need to do that, try out things other than soaps, instead of getting pigeonholed in a genre that, unfortunately isn't what it used to be. But he does look like Superman, so I could have seen him as like the next Superman. Hey, Melissa. Uh, let me see. Okay, Zoe. So, Chrissy's mentioned Zoe needs to own up to her mistakes and stop blaming everyone else. Um, yeah, I think that Zoe really just needs to be written better. If they're gonna make her a villainous diva, manipulating men and trying to get what she wants, that kind of character, they just need to write her like that, like another Quinn or something. You know, this wishy washy keeping her on the fence. That's not fun to watch. So since we mentioned Bold and Beautiful, how do you guys feel about the test results coming back? That it's been confirmed that is Liam's baby, at least for now. So I know a lot of people. I think Christy said she was upset with the news. But So what do you guys think about the test results coming back that Liam is the father of Steffi's baby? I had showed this picture of of Hope's reaction, and if you give me a second, I'll find it because it was that picture was really funny. So I'm gonna see if I can uh, find that picture. Nope, wrong one. Let me see. Where is it? Here it is. This is gonna. I'm gonna show you the picture. Oh shoot, that picture's small as hell. Um, it is. Well, I'm gonna put this up for now, and maybe I can find. Okay, here we go. Let me see. This is the picture of Hope's reaction to finding out that Liam is the father of Steffi's baby. Tell me if this does not give you a good laugh. And some people were saying they think that that's not even Anika, that that's a mannequin because of how close they are together. So I want to see in the comment section what you guys think about Hope's reaction to finding out that Liam's the father. Oh man. Hey Bobby Ruffin and Wendy. Thank you guys for coming in. Yeah, and I'm gonna pull up Wendy's comment because she feels the same as I do. Glad to see it's Liam's baby because it's better drama that way. It affects more people. Not to mention, I like to see Hope with Thomas, even if it's briefly, because I think we all know that the baby is actually going to be Finn's baby. That it's highly likely that Thomas' friend is the one that switched the results, trying to be a good buddy, like he was Vinny, like he was trying to be a good buddy, slipping Steffi some pills. So yeah, I think that Vinny's gonna have switched the test, and we're just gonna for the next few months, uh, depending on how long they play this out, because it could be May sweeps, August sweeps, or November sweeps before they find out the truth. They've been mentioning Timothy Mackie. Uh, they have mentioned that Morgan could potentially come back. The actor did move back into town, and he's doing a project with Maurice Bernard. So, if he's doing a project with Maurice Bernard that's not General Hospital related, there's a good chance that they reconnected because he's coming back to the show. But since no real confirmation has come through that he's actually back, and the rumors of him coming back kind of calmed down, I won't until I see a true confirmation. We can't say it. Um, I was kind of weirded out by this cop on today's episode of General Hospital that stole the cup to try to get find out who Sonny is because he wanted to lock him up for these robberies or whatever. So I don't know what he's going to do with that. Well, Dee Dee is asking was Liam next love. I think that Liam doesn't have a next love. I think that Liam is going to be trying to win Hope back while Hope is gravitating more towards Thomas. So I don't think he's going to have a new love because the only other person they would pair him up with is Steffi. So either he's going to try to steal Steffi from Finn, or he's going to try to keep Hope from hooking up with Thomas. Oh, Gwen, thank you for this comment. Michael and Willow are two of the most boring characters on the show. They don't deserve any screen time together. I'd rather see Chase and Michael boxing or something versus another boring scene with Willow. Willow isn't even that boring when she's with Chase, but trying to put Michael with Willow, it's like, you know, toast with no butter. It's just no flavor. It's just dry toast. Well, it's true that there could be a conventional soap where there's a medical crisis storyline, or you know, Vinny could tell Thomas the truth, and then Thomas might have a conscience and tell Hope the truth, or she can overhear them. So there's lots of ways the truth can come out. Um, is Ben gonna find Sierra? Uh, uh, Ben will. I don't know. I don't know. The spoilers that I shared with the members, including you, was that Sierra does get a call to Ben, and Ben and Sean team up to go look for Sierra. The story is moving in the direction of them finding Sierra, but because I have not seen anything about her being on contract, and there's been no mention of her in contract, and nobody has said that she's back to the show, that this could just be another reoccurring appearance for her. That the whole point of the storyline could either be they find Sierra, or the whole point of the storyline could be is that they're acknowledging that she's alive out there somewhere. Um, I do wish another soap would be created, or I think a lot of fans would love it if shows like One Life to Live or Guiding Light or Another World came back as a half hour soap, because there was a lot of talk at one point of bringing some of the soaps that got canceled back in a half hour format like Bold and Beautiful, which would be a cheaper format for them to use. It would be less actors, but technically the show would be back and they could just, have people, come and go as they need them like they're doing the Days of Our Lives. Mm, I know, I don't think it's confirmed. What was that? Well, the crossovers is only like one episode, so it's not a long term. Uh, they're not leaving long term. Ben is going for the whole, visiting for an episode on Monday, which is probably because of the Trump trial. So far, preempted. It'll probably be now on Tuesday. But yeah, he's not over there forever. He's just over there for now. Or Monday should have been his the 12th, whenever the 12th is. I think his return to Young the Restless would have been the 12th. Well, All My Children is coming back as a primetime series called Pine Valley, focusing on the children with the parents guest starring. I got turned off with Willow back when she found out her kid was dead and the actress did horrible in that scene. That I waited probably a year for her to finally have that moment, and Chase had more emotional impact in that scene than Willow. I've been disappointed in her ever since. Uh, yes, Jacarius. Michael is very, very boring. So now, here's the thing. I don't watch Young the Restless anymore. I keep saying I'm gonna restart, but every time I try to restart, it's horrible. So really, the thing that would get me back to Young the Restless is Josh Griffin being fired, and there's a new writer and a new, so we can get this horrible writing off the screen and actually maybe have save the ratings of the show and get them back up again. But I do keep up with the spoilers for everybody, and according to the spoilers, uh, there's something that's gonna happen with Chelsea, Sharon, and Adam. That Chelsea is gonna see something. It's in the fall preview. That Chelsea is gonna see something, and it's probably gonna be Adam and Adam and Sharon kissing or something, and then she's going to do something. I don't know. People were joking that she'll push out a window or something, but I know that they're leading up to something bad happening with Sharon and Adam getting together. The only problem with the surprise guest being Morgan, which it could be, and I really want Morgan to be alive so they can shut the hell up about Ava killing Morgan. If they talk about Ava killing Morgan one more time, um, yeah, she's partially responsible, but we're talking about mobsters and hitmen and everything that Carly's done in her life. Uh, they've done worse things than Ava has done, and Ava's done a lot of bad things. So they're all it's like hypocrites. They're all hypocrites because they're just as bad. Like when they try to talk about the Corinthos family, you know, yeah, you're criminals, judging everybody else. Um, but yeah, the only problem is whoever the surprise guest is has a direct connection to exposing Peter. So that's why I said the most likely candidates would be Drew, Franco, or Nathan. Maybe he found Morgan or something, and he held Morgan hostage the same way he held Jason hostage. But I don't understand why he would hold Morgan hostage. I just keep imagining that Morgan is out there with amnesia, like Sonny is right now, and don't know who he is. I would check. Uh, I would check Hulu tonight to see if the new episode is on tonight because today's episode did leak online, so you can find today's episode of General Hospital and Days of Our Lives online. There's different links, but one of them you can find it on YouTube and different places. Now, this I disagree with. You're never gonna like everything a writer does. Period. So Ron C has been the best writer I've ever seen on Days of Our Lives. He's turned things around. He's the one that created the Sierra Ben love story that people love so much. He's the one that created the Xander Sarah love story that people love so much. He's brought Jennifer and Jack back together. He's marrying Steve and Kayla this week. Gwen may be a hit or miss character, but he also, has done so much. I mean, I'm loving what he does with um, Kristen and Susan, and the whole Kristen pretending to be Nicole, and the time jump. So Ron has done some pretty remarkable things on the show. I'm looking forward to the Charlie murder mystery that's coming up this week. So there's a lot of good things happening. The ratings have gone up with Ron, whereas other writers, the ratings have gone down to the point where they almost canceled the show. So before people jump on the train of getting rid of Ron, you have to think about some of those decisions that happen are not his decisions. There's producers and there's a whole network with their hands in the pot, you know, making decisions. So if they say we can't afford Hope for 5 months, Ron doesn't make that decision. Producers make that decision. We want to put just like they put Kristen and Brady on hold for a month, and Kristen was gone for like 3 months, and now she's back. They try to do the same thing with Kristen Alfonso, and Kristen Alfonso refused to take 5 months off, and she quit. Just like Greg, who plays Eric, quit. That is not Ron's fault. They begged Eric, Greg Vaughn, to the last day he was at work. He said it himself, to sign a new contract. And he said no. So sometimes fans are blaming things for Ron he has no control over. He doesn't control the budget. You know, that's not his decision. And so Days of Our Lives is my favorite show, even over General Hospital. General Hospital is my second favorite, but how I can really tell which show I love the best is the one that I turn on first. Every once in a while it's Bold and Beautiful, but most of the time the first soap I want to watch is going to be Days of Our Lives, and then the second one is going to be General Hospital, then Bold and Beautiful, and then if I were to start watching Young and Restless again, that's last. Um, he said 4 to 5 people were fired, and people have said that the firing didn't begin with him. The firing began with Theo. So Theo was only back for a few episodes. So Theo was the first person that got let go. They finally let Dina go, and now they got rid of Chance. So Chance is just the first character that they got rid of that was in the middle of a major storyline. Technically, Theo was too, but I do feel like there's going to be some more people fired. It hasn't been revealed who's next. Um, so we better keep a close eye on this Chelsea, Sharon, Ray, and Adam storyline because I feel like I'm sorry, Chelsea and Ray might be considered um, expendable. And let's face it, Lola might as well not be on the show. Tessa might as well not be on the show. Even when I'm in the spoilers, I can see that they're not doing anything with Tessa and they're not doing anything with Lola. So there are certain characters that you can easily see that they would be considering for the chopping block because someone as pretty and as vibrant as Lola should have already moved on to the next person like Billy or somebody. Xander and Gabby may get together, but right now, the way the storyline is going, I guess with Xander losing his quitting his job at Titan, they now have Gabby working with Philip. So I don't. I got to see if they're gonna keep Gabby and Xander in each other's orbit. But Ron did do the interview with I think so Barbara Digest or something, where he said that supposedly it could have been a joke that he was considering pairing Xander and Gabby, but he did say Jake and Gabby are in game. They will eventually get together. This is just the road they got to take to get there. Um, Sharon and Ray just got married, and he's jealous of Adam. That's because Sharon keep putting herself in situations to make Ray jealous. She won't cut ties with Adam. Even with her daughter being distraught and being an alcoholic, she still can't keep away from Adam. And plus, since the actors playing Sharon and Adam are dating in real life, they can actually touch and kiss and stuff. So that's another reason for the production to keep pairing them up because they're already together, just like Devon and Elena. They're together in real life, so that's some of the few characters that can actually touch on the show, and I have to fake it or use a mannequin or something. Yeah, I hate every time they throw Morgan in Ava's face. Even Maura West look like, oh, this shit again. Um, I think that it would be fun to see a storyline where Sarah had to pursue Xander versus Xander begging Sarah for every moment of her time. Just like it was fun to see Sarah on the bed begging for Xander to come give her some. when he was trying to get that information with Philip on the laptop. Now, I can't remember the name of Neil's other son that I've never seen on the show actually. But the news did come out that they did cast someone to play Neil's other son and as a potential love interest for Faith. So he'll be a high schooler. They're gonna, I think real age is 10, but he's gonna be aged up to like 16 or 15. Uh, I'm not quite sure what Xander's next thing is. I know that him and Sarah are gonna get engaged to be married. And just the fall preview said that is his focus of getting married to Sarah now that he doesn't have Titan. Thank you guys. Please hit the thumbs up. I'd appreciate it very much. It helps it, for YouTube to send more people our way. I think that the character Paris is safe. She has gotten a lot of fan love and fan support. They do like a good girl, a lot of times. So, Paris has had a refreshing. She's like the black version of Hope. Really, I just realized that, but they're actually writing her like she's the black version of Hope. I'm just waiting for her to say she's vegan. And can we talk for just a second about how horrible these clothes are on Bold and Beautiful? Like that cowboy dress that they had Kelly Lang in when Hope was telling her that Liam might have got Steffi pregnant. I said those are the kind of like Little House on the Prairie dresses that they usually save for Hope. And like now they putting her, they're putting Brooke in these homely little dresses. I mean, are they getting this stuff from the Goodwill now from like the 70s? What's going on? The clothes are horrible, especially for a fashion house. We need Spectre fashions back. At least those fashions were meant to be a little more outrageous, but the stylist on the show needs to be replaced with someone that actually knows how to style people that look like they're like fashionistas. There we go. Moses. Yeah, so they're gonna age up Moses. And the rumor is because they don't have that many teens, that is a that most likely he's for Fate. See, I disagree about Zoe needing to go. I think that Zoe needs to be written better. They need to put more love in the stories for Zoe, Carter, Paris, and Zendaya. Because I feel like these are like sidebar stories. They rushed Carter's and Zoe's relationship to the point where you blinked and he wanted to get engaged way too fast. Then she became infatuated with Zendaya, and immediately back and forth. There was no build up towards them actually liking each other. That was. And then Paris comes in, and she's a nice character, but where are they really going with her? She if they keep it up, she's going to be the new receptionist. With lemon bars. So they really need to put a little more love into the black storylines and actually write for them like they give a damn. Because I just really feel like when I look at the black character storylines on Bone and Beautiful, I feel like this is like the end of the day. We just going. We've been writing for Liam, Hope, and Steffi all day. We're tired. Oh God, Carter and Zoe. Come on, let's give them a couple lines. And here's the thing about how much they don't care about the black characters in Bone and Beautiful. For sweeps, I've noticed that they haven't done it. But before sweeps, you know how the show's broken down into like usually like 3 or 4 segments. Like they do that opening intro, and then they do the title, and then they come back and continue the story, and then you got like 2 more commercial breaks usually. It'll break it up to like 2 more sections. And I've been counting how many times at the end of the show the black storyline ends before the show is over. It that usually that last segment is usually only like Steffi, Liam, maybe Bill, Ridge, Brooke, or somebody. But I kept saying, I was like, how long are they going to do this? Like, they come back from commercial break for the last part of the show, and then they don't have any cliffhanger stories for the black characters. Now, for sweeps, they have finally started adding the black characters at the end of the segments of the show. But at least for 6 months, they weren't. So, because I've been watching, that's been like sort of like my pet peeve. Like, Zoe just left the room, but she was. Hey, wait, she's not in the rest of the episode? Come on now. Paris is a do gooder. She's working for Hope for the Future because she wants to be a social worker and she wants to better the lives of people. And she doesn't really have a mean streak in her body. She occasionally stands up for herself. And Zoe is the Steffi, and Hope. Paris is the Hope. I can see it. You don't see it, Jakarius, but I see it. Yes, yes. Yeah. This is what I would. This would make me upgrade Bold and Beautiful on a regular basis if they had a good villain or villain. It's like Bill being a pussy is not something I want to watch. Bill being a nice guy is boring, you know. And they even got Katie crying for no reason. She just cries just because she's in the scene. They haven't given her anything to do. Okay. I agree. I've named a lot of the problems. Like Jordan Curtis, they had at one point had it like Curtis was going to find out that Stella was his mother and Marcus was his father. They dropped that plot. They've been dragging their feet about Curtis being Trina's father ever since the epidemic. Um, Trina, Cam, and Joss really haven't had any chemistry. They went and killed Dev, so the teens haven't really had a good storyline since they came back from the epidemic, but they haven't really carried on scenes with Trina, with Ava like they were doing. Um, it just lost a lot of magic. So yeah, all of the shows all around. Even Lonnie and Eli, baby being kidnapped. Why weren't we getting scenes with Lonnie crying all the time? I know she's a cop, but she's a mother who's already lost a child, and now her 2 twins have disappeared, and we didn't get the emotional stories that we would have get been given if we imagine if somebody like Sammy's kid was gone, or Hope's kid was gone. We got more crying than Lonnie. You know, so it's like Lonnie and Eli, they didn't get the emotional depth out of that story that other characters have gotten out of stories like that. So they have a lot of work to do with the various black characters. We're just getting to know Portia on General Hospital. They're just getting around to Portia and Curtis going out, as friends. Um, I stopped talking about the new temporary Jordan when I saw that she's actually I can't remember the actress name now, but she's the other actress's best friend. So I said I'm not going to talk about her no more. She's only temporary. Yeah, and I think it's been a travesty that Bill hasn't had a good storyline because he brings a lot of great energy to the show. Him and Red should be battling it out over something, even if it's not Brooke. So I'm kind of scrolling down. Um, so let me see. Oh, yeah, I think that a lot of black fans will never let this go. Sean is in jail for something that Nicholas did. And he's in jail. And not only is Sean in jail, but Sean didn't even have to go to jail. He was trying to be noble like Jason and go to jail. He ain't even do it. They should have brought his character back before Portia. That would have been a great triangle between Sean, Curtis, and Jordan. Hell, that could be a great quadrangle with Sean, Curtis, Jordan, and Portia. Although I know the new love quadrangle will be Taggart, Jordan, Curtis, and Portia. I think Trina has calmed down a lot since she found out her father was alive. And, she's being angry that her father had lied to her and let her think um, he was dead. But they did the same thing with Spencer. Same exact storyline that Spencer got, except that actor was only on for a short time because he's doing stuff for Disney. I think that instead of Thomas getting hit on the head and seeing mannequins, it might have been a good thing if it was actually Hope, the one who like fell and had a brain tumor or something that caused her to have a personality shift. I think that would have been fun to see. Bad girl Hope. It's always good to see the actresses that play the good girls be bad. Sometimes, like when Abigail was Gabby, you know, that's always, or One Life to Live, Vicky turns into Nikki, or the six other personalities she ends up having. Um, yes, please hit the like button if you haven't hit it already. Uh, I would definitely appreciate it. We've got 8 minutes left in the chat. Yeah, Teresa, we need more of that. We need, companies fighting, stealing patterns and whatnot. We need like, old school Sally Spectre type foolishness. Um, but all they ever do is sit around sketching and looking at dresses that are already made. Exactly, Cowboy P. Hey, Lynn, thank you for joining us. Yes. You see, we all got the consensus. Get shot out of jail. You know what I'm surprised about Victoria Rao? I'm surprised that another soap. I know she sued CBS, but I'm surprised that Days of Our Lives or General Hospital didn't snatch up Victoria Rao with her fan base. Um, are you sure the original Trina was Asian? Because I remember when Blair was clearly Asian, and then when Cassie took over, she turned changed races and became white. But I don't remember Asian Trina. I remember briefly there was another Trina, but um, I gotta look that up. Shauna's not leaving Bold and Beautiful. She's just in rotation, just like Quinn, Eric, Bill, Katie, all the other characters you haven't seen. They're just in this rotation where they're only using a few people at a time. I'm glad Flo went in a rotation because I was tired of her. Well, technically TJ. Wait, I was thinking TJ and Trina. I was about to say, what are you trying to do with these ages? But TJ and Portia, I don't really see that. I don't see that. Maybe the other TJ, but this TJ, there's something about him that is off to me. I've even seen him in another movie where he was the bad guy, and there's just something off about his acting. I think Portia needs a good scene partner, and I don't think she's getting one in Curtis because of the writing, not the chemistry. But I think that as we've been talking about Sean, I think somebody like Sean could really shake Portia up real good and rock that world for more than one night only. Could you imagine Sean just getting out of jail? It'll be a different actor, of course, beefed up with a bunch of tattoos and a do rag, looking like Ving Rhames in Baby Boy. I'm having this weird vision of the scene where Ving and the mother were, let's just say, hopping across the screen, and instead of the son, it would be Trina reacting to that. Oh, weird but funny. Um, so I think that people like cry foul when people have these affairs and dirty dealings and stuff. But it's a drama. You know, we got to get some dramatic things to happen. Although Gwen killing Laura, that's a little too dramatic for me. It came out of nowhere. Um, I almost feel like Young and Restless needs a reboot. Like I would love to do a Young and Restless reboot that changed some of these horrible decisions they've made over the years. Bring back some people that wasn't should never died. Like I saw somebody mention Brad shouldn't have died. Um, Maybe even Tracy Kidd never died. Just wipe the slate clean. Keep like from like let's say a certain period of time back as canon, and then everything else is a surprise. I mean, look, they did it with Sheila. They just brought her back. Didn't explain why how she came back from dead. Nothing. Just said, "Hey, here she is. Let's keep it moving." Angela, I loved Amelia on All My Children. I think she might even won an Emmy. But as Victoria, the writing is poor. I don't blame Amelia for the character being boring. I blame the writing. Now, her hair never being combed, I blame the actress for that. Yeah. Um, I think Terry's on there just so he can try and win a GLAAD award or something. But this is gonna sound crazy, Omar, but Michael, in my opinion, has only ever had chemistry with men. So if I had my way, I would have put Michael with Chase because they look like a good couple when they're together. They actually look like lovers, not friends. Just my opinion, and I'm not the only one with that opinion. Young and the Restless hasn't picked up Victoria Rao because of the lawsuit and allegations she's made about racism on the set and things like that. So it's more about pride than of saying, look, you were right. Clearly, they've even admitted she was right about some things, but sometimes when a company has been sued, they don't want to risk another lawsuit when they know she's already done it once. That's the only thing I can think of. The good thing about Charlie murder is there are so many suspects. I'm sure they're going to make Sammy the main suspect, but I have a feeling it's going to be somebody they can easily get rid of or um, can go to the mental institution real quick. So I'm thinking Ava is definitely a candidate for he had drugged her, and that could be her excuse for doing it. John has his brain tumor, and so John could probably get away with killing Charlie because of the brain tumor. There also can be self defense where we know Charlie's been obsessing over Claire. Maybe Claire can say that she accidentally killed Charlie in self defense or something. Um, but there's a lot of people that are probably going to get blamed. Trip, we know Trip didn't do it. We know Allie didn't do it. We know that Sammy didn't do it. We know that Steve didn't do it, or Kayla, or a lot of the characters that are probably going to be big suspects. You really start looking at either the most least likely suspect, or you look at the people that can actually do it and get away with it, such as what was the purpose of giving John a brain tumor where he impulsively does things that they can argue he wasn't in control of himself. Um, and like I said, Ava being drugged, she could have said she had a hallucination that he was trying to get rid of Trip, and she killed Charlie trying to save Trip. So there's a couple of people that could have a get out of jail free type reason. Um, so, but people like Sammy, I wouldn't suspect her at all. Well, Angela, I want to say this first. It's true that they don't have dedicated hair and makeup anymore. That they only get like I think it's 15 minutes in the hair and makeup room. But Victoria's hair has been messed up way before the epidemic, the pandemic. Her hair has been messed up for years. We used to make fun of it on the show all the time. And yes, we're gonna bring this up. I think that Victoria Riley even said that Michelle Stafford spit on her. Don't quote me on that, but I think that was one of the accusations. Yeah. So yeah, Victoria definitely pointed the finger at Michelle Stafford as being a problem. And maybe that's even why people don't like working with her. Ever since she's come to Young and the Restless, it's like she's in a on a show by herself for the most part. They put her with like one or two people, but she never really got reintegrated into the cast. True. I mean, he already has a kid that he's co-parenting. If Brooklyn is having a kid with him, he's not in love with her. That sounds like a co-parenting situation to me. But I can see Nina pushing him towards Brooklyn so that he can raise his kid because she didn't get a chance to raise her kid or something. I can see them trying to say she's being noble. I don't know. We gotta see what the reasons why, but there's been no actual specific reason why. Well, the reason why Michelle Stafford left General Hospital so quickly is because they pulled up the Brinks truck and offered her a salary she couldn't resist, and General Hospital couldn't match. She said that herself. And when she first changed over to soaps, that they made her an offer she couldn't refuse. And General Hospital couldn't match it, so she switched shows. It was a totally a money. Um, Her switching was 100% because of the money. Usually they give you a flimsy excuse how they came back. You know, I wasn't really dead. I took some serum that made me seem dead. You know, Dr. Rolf brought me back from the dead. They usually give you some flimsy excuse that so fans accept. But it is after 8, so we're gonna wrap things up. Um, and I want to thank everybody for being part of this live. I know it was impromptu. You guys gave me some great questions. Hopefully, I gave you some great new information. Um, things off the top of my head that that I may not have discussed in the last live. I am gonna try to do lives weekly. What I'll do is, if you missed the General Hospital or the Days of Our Lives episode, I'll put the links in the. It'll be one link. You click on it, you'll see the different shows. I'll put the link in the description box so that anybody that missed today's episodes is only General Hospital and Days of Our Lives. They didn't show Bold and Beautiful, Young and the Restless. So those two shows, I'll put a link out there so that you can see the shows yourself. Um, so thank you guys for watching. Last time I forgot to put the link out there. So I'm going to sign off and I'm going to put this link in there. And thank you once again for watching. And hopefully you're got your notifications on so that you know every time I go live or drop a video. Thank you.